how do the Eagles go about trying to repeat for the first time since the team before them? Eli?
I would, how we won our championship based off of our defensive line and our pass rush, and we lost more talent than I think we realized this year. Sweat left. We have an injury
in particular.
Yep, injury in Nakobe Dean, right, who's probably going to miss most of this season. So we actually lost quite a bit of juice on the outside. So I really like Nick Scourton here, the defensive end out of Texas A&M. Yes? Can I get confirmation from the crew? Texas A&M. And he added some weight this year and lost a little bit of his burst. But if you look at his tape from 2 years ago, he has the juice and athleticism and kind of the way we like our edges to play to continue to keep the strength of our defense the strength.
Adam?
So I think that this defense does need a little edge rusher help, but this edge rusher class is deeper than where they need help elsewhere on the defense, which is safety. So right now they have Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown showed some things. We don't know what he's going to be. But as I've already said, I am a huge fan of the 3 safety sets. Very versatile, can keep just 2 corners on the field, which they have 2 good corners. Throw those 3 safeties on there. That's your nickel defense. Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame, I think, would give this defense more versatility while they still have a good D-line and can still add to it in the second round. But I think they need a safety, and I'm not sure it's going to be there in the second round, at the end of the second round.
Mike?
I can agree with that. Just looking at their defense right now, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, some injury concerns there. Zach Bond was an absolute revelation. Nakobe Dean, some injury concerns there as well. And then Bryce Huff. You can make an argument here for Carson Schlesinger. I mean, he's a guy that can play that Vic Fangio Tampa 2 defense. He's a guy that can really run with the running backs and tight ends and drop back into coverage.
That's a perfectly fair. I think that's a perfectly fair spot for him to go. I mean, look, I think it's very clear the offense of this Philadelphia Eagles team is set. It's really how do we replenish the stars on the defense. Now they got really good. I mean, they picked 2 cornerbacks / safeties, if you want to put DeJean in there, as their spot in the draft last year. Where do they want to go with this? Do they want to go line? Do they want to go safety? Emin Wari, like I said, I think would be an interesting player here as well. I think there's a couple different spots. I like the Xavier Watts and Nick Scourton picks. I think I'm going to lean Watts in this conversation, though. Again, I think there's with the defensive line as good as it was last year, even if we take a step back on this front, I do expect that if we're going to lose a little bit of strength up front, let's add to our strength in the back. So let's add another safety to this conversation. And I think this team, again, there are very few holes on this team. Even though they lost Sweat, they're not going to be able to replace him with anybody right now in this class. Let's go Xavier Watts to round out the first round.